Today, I'm going to show you how temporal tables work with SPCRUD in the search and how it's going to let you time travel. So stay tuned. So what that means is you might have system version temporal tables like this person table I have set up. And what makes a temporal table is you'll have a history table that is a copy. So whenever you make changes to your table, it's going to keep a history here. And the one cool thing about that is it has this valid from and to. So every temporal table needs some type of column that's a period, from a start period to an end period. Let's take a peek at what just the top of this is going to look like. It's going to be a from date and a to date. So valid from this date until this date. So let's jump into it and I'll show you how to do it. So let's go grab SPCRUD, grab the newest version off of the main branch on Kevin Martin Tech's repo, completely free. You make a copy of the stored procedure, paste it, execute it. Now we have the SPCRUD stored procedure. We are going to be doing it for just this one table. So we want to specify the schema or table name. We're going to set a bunch of these to 0 because we're not going to be creating any of the other ones. We're only going to be doing the search. A lot of these others we're not going to need, so let's just comment them out for when we run this. We are going to need temporal row start column name and row end column name. There's also one here, so if you want to force temporal time travel for views, you could do that too. So if you're generating this from a view and you wanted to provide the temporal time traveling, you would specify that. So all we got to do is grab our valid from and our valid to. Have that as 1. All the rest of these set to 0 because we don't care about them getting generated. And we're gonna not create the stored procedure. I usually have some type of source control going, so I'm not just gonna be executing this and running it inside the database. So based on how crazy of your table schemas are, this person table does join out to the organization and other tables. So once it runs, you're going to click here to view the generated code. It just lets you know if you would have set that to 1, it would have actually created the stored procedure. So it says it's telling us just to copy this code from up there down to here. I'm going to copy that out, create a new query, and now we're going to execute the creating of the stored procedure. So now we have a new stored procedure called person search. So this is the generated stored procedure. All of this is optional. It's a kitchen sink, so you're going to get a query coming back, and it's going to let you know, hey, there's 10 million records, but I'm only going to, bring back the first, whatever this is set at. I think it's like 100. So, of course, everything running to get it into memory for the first time takes a little bit of time. So let's take a peek and find. So we're going to use debug. So I'll throw this back up at the top. And then let's use search name operators. We'll put that up at the top. Not going to debug, but let's find Kevin. Equal is the default, but I'll just stick it here for clarity. Let's run that. That's equals. Okay, so now if we go over to the equals column or the search name column, we can see like now we have all the Kevins. This is the only table, the only index, the only column that I have indexed right now. So everything else is as slow as you'd expect it's going to be for, 10 million records. So it's going to come over and tell you, hey, there's 498 records, but we're only getting 100 as the default. If you wanted to change how much you come back, because this is set up for pagination. So if you wanted 200 or if you wanted 25, or no, page number. So if you want page number 1, page size 25, we're going to get 25 of them and it's still going to tell you, there's still 498. And then if you want page 2, it's going to give you the next 25 and so on. So here is the temporal information here. So you can say, 22 dash, what should we pick for a date? 2-14 as of. So you can find all of what the data look like as of that day. And pretty much all of this is going to be, I don't have anything queued up exactly for there, but, it's going to show. Let's see if there was, I think the 6th, there wasn't anything. The 7th, there wasn't anything. The 8th. So the data got loaded or updated, as of that point in time. What we could probably do is just go select the top of what actually got changed. Person ID 1. So let's do this instead of searching by that. Let's search by person ID. Let's throw those down. So what we could do is we can just go start grabbing some times. Row update time. And I think using this, and if this doesn't work, then valid time. How about let's try that. So what you can do is you can walk backwards and find out what the data look like for that specific time. So if we want to go and take a peek at the stored procedure, and just search for as of time. So here's all the options that you're going to be able to use. So there's as of, so it's going to be will be a single date and time, like that date and time. You can use from, between, contained in, and that's expecting a date range to be something along the lines of, this is what this would look like for from, and then it's going to give you a date range of executing that. And then there's just all, doesn't require time. It's just going to bring pretty much every change for everything back. So it's pretty powerful. It's taking the dynamic kitchen sink search and maximizing that. We can even take a peek at like what it's doing here. So so it's injecting the temporal for system time with the from, with the as of, like right inside each of these tables that supports temporal. That's a temporal table. So like if the organization table supported, if it was a temporal table, it would work for that table also. City, state, zip, country. So it's smart enough to figure out if when you're passing this in, it knows to inject it inside of the joins where it's supposed to, so that when you pass in whatever queries you do, it's going to generate this, and you're going to be able to query and time travel and go back to before somebody deleted a record, before somebody updated a record, and see exactly what occurred. So take a peek at SP CRUD Gen and enjoy.